Hey guys, I'll be showing you guys my Plant Druid Oracle CI build. Um, so as you can see, I've allocated CI right here, immune to chaos damage and bleeding. Very viable, very much needed in most in-game content and most farming strategies, especially in the Abyss and Rituals, maybe of a bit of Breach, right? Not for others don't really need it, but this is honestly just really nice, right? This is super nice. Immune to bleeding and chaos damage, right? Because it's very hard to get that 75% chaos resistance that you would need to have on your gear. And having extra on your gear would be very expensive, and many of the player base wouldn't have the currency to get such a thing, right? Get 75% chaos resistance, and and yeah, so let's talk about my passive skill tree. No, excuse me. Let's first talk about the Sapphire Jewels that I have. So what I'm looking for is maximum energy shield. Obviously, you want to have high maximum energy shield. You want to have critical hit chance. It doesn't have to be specifically critical hit chance. It could be critical hit chance for spells as well. So don't downplay on that. You can search it up in the market. Right. I'll show you guys how to do that. So over here, you click this. If you're looking for a critical damage bonus, you do that as well. Hit chance for spell damage, critical spell damage bonus as well. So you can do a little mixing and whatnot. So let's see. Let me search for some of these. Right. So you want to like have, let's say 14 is it's nice, but honestly, yeah, it's kind of expensive. Well, with only these two, it's not as expensive as having maximum energy shield. I believe this is the right one. 19%. You don't have to do 20%, right? Okay, let's have a look. 10 divs. Yeah, this is pretty standard, honestly. Minions still increase damage. Kind of a dead stat, honestly. If you don't want a dead stat like this one's decent, but it has evasion rating. And honestly, you don't really want to have evasion rating, unless you're building a body armor, right, with evasion rating, then yeah, sure, you can have this, right? Increase energy shield from equipped focus. That is actually pretty nice, honestly, since I transitioned from using staffs to wand and foci. So I'll hover these two over here. This one was 40 divs. I corrupted this myself and it got an extra socket, so I nearly had a heart attack because like I thought it bricked, but I was like blind, right, and it got an extra socket. I was like, oh damn, that's nice, right? I did not want to try this on this, right, because this was 180 divs. I bought this for 180 divs, and it was absolutely, I absolutely won't do this on this, right? Yeah, so let's continue with the skill tree. This is pretty standard. Like most builds, like path this way, get energy shield here, get lots of damage here. Yeah, for me, I also path down here. This is pretty good spot to get your energy shield, extra gain additional ailments and stun thresholds equal to 12% of your maximum energy shield. This is very good. The reason why I path here is because faster start of energy shield recharge. This is very good, right? But maybe it's not a good idea. I was thinking of like maybe just removing this altogether, right? But at the same time, you could also path here where you get a bunch of energy shield. Well, you know, it's just the gist is like you guys will try to find like the best spots or places to get energy shield. Like, you know, you don't have to path here. You can just get these mini energy shield nodes in these spots. Do not get this one. Right, this one is, it looks nice. I tested it out myself. I died instantly in one hit. That was a no-go, right? Because 5% of your damage taken bypasses energy shield. And that is no good, right? You have only one life, so you just die instantly. So yeah, that's the Sapphire Jewels. Next, you wanna, you know, wait. I'll just show you all my Sapphire Jewels while I'm at it. Next is we will look at the Metamorphisis Jewel right here. You want to have medium weight. Right? Anything bigger, anything lower is not good because you won't be able to allocate all 4 of these. Right? You don't have to. You don't have to take these, but I've taken them because the damage increase is quite significant, right? So roughly 5.78k. That's quite significant, so I took those. That's kind of nice, right? That's besides the point. So because you want to allocate these 4, right? Obviously this is mandatory arcane surge gain after you deal critical hit. More mana cost efficiency, and honestly, if you didn't have this, it would be a waste of points trying to path towards this. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10, right? And also, if you didn't want to have these 3, it'll be 11, 12, 13. So in total, will be 13 passive skill points, and you could have been using 13 of those in other places that are much more needed, like over here, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so that's the Metamorphosis Jewel. And then the bread and butter would be this one right here. This is the Time Lost Sapphire Jewel that I bought for 10 divs. The reason why you want to have this, right, and with a radius of medium, is because it gives you 20% critical damage bonus, right, with each notable socket. So I have 7 notables, right, in this radius. So let's go over these, right? 40% faster start of energy shield recharge. Honestly, mandatory, but that's besides the point. That's 20% critical damage bonus. Okay, so I have 7 of these. You multiply that by 20%. That's 140% critical damage bonus, regardless of what you just know, what you skill pointed in, right? This is a dead one, right? But we notable this because it gave us 20%, right? It's better than 15. It's better than 15%, where you know, can put it in here, but there's no point, right? You would rather choose 20% over 15, right? And not all these are dead. This one's good, 40%. This one's also good, 5% cast speed and 15% mana regeneration. Overall, helps you sustain that the mana hungry, how mana hungry this build is, right? This is also good, 20% increased physical damage. This is a given. Triggered spells deal 40% increased spell damage. Well, you might be playing Bone Cage Cock instead of just a level 18 Thunderstorm Cock, right? Well, for me, I'm using a level 18 Oh, actually, I need to change this up. Well, excuse me. Maybe because I transitioned this a bit too fast. I didn't realize this thunderstorm wasn't level 18. This is level 20 because of the +2. Right? I transitioned this from staff to wand and foci. If I mentioned it just before. Well, this besides the point. So yeah, so 140% critical damage bonus around here. Very nice. Would also, yeah, you would also want these two. I think these two are kind of mandatory. In total, they give you 30% stun and ailment threshold equal to 30% of your maximum energy shield. That's better than allocating your skill points over here, these two, which in total gives you 28%. So that's my reasoning, my logic, right? Also, there's another one that I allocated outside. This time lost sapphire. I also allocated this. This gives me, I believe, 6,000 extra DPS, right? So it would be 100. I'll just show you, right? So yeah, about 6,000. Yeah, 6,000. Is it 5,000? 5,400. You know what? That's still significant, right? Because compared to, let's say, this dead stat, right? But it will give, regardless, it will give me 20% critical damage bonus. I lost only about 3,000. So this one was pretty significant. So I allocated this, right? That's all for my jewels, and you guys can pause within this video, check to see what you guys are missing. Also, I want to mention something. My old staff that I use had gained 58% as extra fire damage. Why do I think the gain as extra fire damage is actually better than gain as extra physical damage or anything else, like cold, lightning, or just extra, or the hybrid spell and mana? The reason why I think it's better is because you can allocate this, right? So 25% increased damage with hits against ignited enemies, and ignited enemies, yeah, just you're basically guaranteed to ignite enemies if you have such a high gain as extra fire damage, right? And you could also allocate here as well. So in total, you'll be having a 60% increased damage with hits against burning enemies, right? Or ignited enemies. This burning and ignited are just they're used simultaneously, or they're basically synonymous with one another, right? So 60%, that's huge, right? That's bigger than 25% when you hinder an enemies, right? But unfortunately, I don't have gain as extra fire on this, right? Because I knew that it would be so expensive to get that, right? Like, I remember crafting some of my staffs, and it was just so hard to get certain modifiers, and I spent like hundreds of divs, and I just, you know, resell that staff for less than the 100 divs I invested in the desecration and omen of lighting, and then just repeating and repeating it, right? It was very, very annoying, right? Well, regardless, yeah, so that'll be it for my video.